Good morning and welcome to my kitchen at It'll Do Gardens. I'm Amy Lynn. So today is December 1st, and we got a nice dusting of snow last night. So I got to wake up to the snow on the ground, and always makes me a little bit nostalgic this time of year. Start thinking about things from childhood, and one of the things I was thinking about this morning was the cookie jar at my grandparents' house. I think everybody's grandparents had cookie jars, but I remember theirs, and it would always be filled with these, oh gosh, they were cheap little cookies. I think they called them gems or something, but you could get a big, 2-pound sack for a couple dollars, and it would have chocolate cookies and chocolate chips and coconut cookies, and I thought that was the greatest thing, always sneaking into the cookie jar, pushing that chair up to the drain board and grabbing a handful of cookies and sneaking back to the living room to eat them. But anyway, thinking about that crazy cookie jar. And anyway, y'all know that I do a lot of baking throughout the year because I get a lot of orders, so I need to get those sent out. So there's never a shortage of homemade cookies here at the house. However, I've never really made cookies strictly for little tree frogs. So today, that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing some chocolate chip cookies. And being a grandma, I needed to have my own cookie jar. And so anyway, I'll show you the one I have. All right, I picked up this last summer. So I do a festival over in Garibaldi, Oregon, and they have the Oregon Coast Railroad, which we're very familiar with. We ride it quite frequently. Anyway, great little tiny mom and pop thrift shop next door to where I vend, and I just happened to go in and found a cookie jar that I knew the boys would love. So anyway, here it is. Isn't that great? A little train. Got a crazy little face. Anyway, so apparently this was like somebody's ceramics project back in the 70s. So if I turn it over, let's get it over here. I don't know if you can see that, but the person that made it was Lisa, and she made it in 1975. So whoever you are out there, Lisa, I love it. It's still going to be used. Boys adore it. And today I'm going to be filling it with their chocolate chips cookies. What was that, or snickerdoodles, but chocolate chip seems to be the winner today. So with that said, everybody's going to say, hey, what's the best chocolate chip cookie recipe? Well, this is my take on that. The best chocolate chip cookie recipe is the one that makes the chocolate chip cookies that you like, or the one that you've grown up with. Because there are people that like them kind of soft and chewy, and there are others that like them crispy, and we call them dunkers because you would dip them in your coffee. Mine are somewhere in between, because that's what I prefer. And the kids like it, because you can dip your cookies in milk, because that's just one of those things you do with a kid. With my chocolate chip recipe, I use real butter. You can use margarine or like butter-flavored Crisco or something like that. I like butter, so that's what I use with mine. Tends to make them a little flat. Gives them just a great palate. I really do enjoy it. So let's see. So I'm going to be using, whoops, it's a good thing this kitchen's so small. Anyway, always use tools that make you happy, and this was one that made me happy. So this is a bowl made out of Alpine, Oregon. I can't remember the potter's name. I'm sure that Ethan Bennett could tell me off the bat who he was, but when he brought it to me, because I talked about needing a nice bowl for bread, just a loaf of bread or general cooking, he was so excited because, and you could tell that he put a lot of love into what he did because he knew it. But anyway, his initials are RW, so hopefully somebody can let me know his name so I can give him a shout out. But anyway, I love it. So earthy, feels great in the hands. So, like I said, I use butter, so I'm going to use about 1.5 cups of butter, and it needs to be soft. So, let's see what I have in here. pulling out the butter. And it's cold, so I'll probably have to let it set for a little bit, or you can pop it into the microwave and soften it a little bit, which might be a better idea. And brown sugar, regular sugar, use some flour. This particular recipe uses 2 eggs. However, I tend to double all my recipes, so I only have to do this once for a while. And then chocolate chips. Now, most people will use a lot of chocolate chips. I like to use less chocolate chips in my cookie. I like a little more cookie than chocolate chips. And for some baking soda, and you're going to use about 4 cups of flour, and a little bit of salt. You always add a little bit of salt. It helps to flavor things. Otherwise, it kind of is bland. And I'll mix all those things up. Scoop them out with a regular tablespoon, and bake them off. They're nice and golden brown. Pull them out. But that's what I've got planned for today, is baking cookies. You know, I was thinking about this. All grandmas should have, you know, cookie jars. So maybe I'm going to start a new tradition that when you become a grandma, I'm going to buy you your very own cookie jar and a pair of reading glasses so you can read the stories to your grandkids a little easier, because it helps me for sure. Anyway, I'm going to get off this thing and start baking, because as you can hear, one of the tree frogs is calling me. I hope you all have a great day. Do whatever it is you do with love. Have fun. And above all, be kind to everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks again. Bye.